97underground.com, Baltimore's pure rock.
Hello, this is Michael Spedden, and thanks for joining us today on the 97underground.com Michael Spedden Interviews channel here on YouTube. There have been many requests from both listeners and guests for us to make available our artist interviews so they can listen again or share with others. You can find us on YouTube at 97underground Michael Spedden. Remember, the Back of the Rack, the Michael Spedden Show, can be heard on 97underground.com every Tuesday from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern. Not only do I feature artist interviews, I feature songs you forgot you liked, classics that never die, beloved local, regional, up-and-coming, and underground artists. You can listen anytime, anywhere by downloading our free app from 97underground.com. Just do it. And now, today's episode. Hey folks, Michael Spedden here, host of The Back of the Rack here on 97underground.com. We can now be heard at a new time, 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern on Mondays. It's a great new time for us. Make sure you tune in then and catch our shows because, like today, we have great bands like Sven Gali from Toronto, Canada. I sat down with Dave Wanless to talk about their brand new album, live at El Mocambo. And it's a great new album. I listened to it, and they've got lots of great material. They've been around since 1987. They're a veteran band, and I really enjoyed talking to them, and I think you'll enjoy this brand new album, our interview, and checking out all the great things on their website, all their social media, which is going to be posted in the show notes. So without further ado, folks, don't forget the Back of the Rack is on 2 to 4 Mondays now. And download the free app, take it with you, listen to us anytime, anywhere, and don't forget our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@97underground Michael Spedden. Enjoy the interview with Sven Gali. And welcome back to the Back of the Rack, the Michael Spedden Show here on 97underground.com, Baltimore's pure rock worldwide. Today, I have Dave Wanless with me today with the band Sven Gali from the Great White North, Toronto, Canada. And it's great to have you today. You've got lots of great news you want to tell everybody about some album releases and a bunch of other things going on. So do tell.
All right. Well, first of all, thanks for having us on. We really appreciate it. And so we have a live record that was recorded September 13th. And we're having a release party this Friday, June 13th, and it's for our new record, Live at the El Mocambo.
Well, congrats.
So it was recorded live there. It was an amazing night. Fans were great. We were sold out, and we're very happy with it. It sounds great, and we're looking forward to everybody hearing it.
That's excellent. Now, how many releases is this for you now? You've been around, it says, since 87.
Yeah,
there may have been breaks, I guess, in between or not.
Oh, there was a long haul in between the grunge era.
Oh, sure.
Right. So we went, we have our debut record, Sven Gali, and that was 1992.
Mm-hmm.
And then 1994, 95, it was In Wire. And then after In Wire, we took a break. And we never broke up. We just took a break. We took a break for a long time.
Sure.
And then we came out with an EP called 3, our third release. And then we have a record called Bombs and Battle Scars, which is a lot of work went into that. And that's us getting, basically back together. Mm-hmm. And then from that, we did a live record called Live at the El Mocambo.
Oh, okay. Okay. So this is your fifth release, I guess, coming out now. Well, congratulations again on that. That's wonderful. And I know that it takes a hell of a lot of time and energy and money and everything else to get, an album together. A lot of patience and no easy feat. So again, congratulations on this here. So you've been around since 1987. And the thing is now, that's not a shaming thing here because you and I are probably in the same age group here.
Yeah.
But to have a passion for doing this for such a long time and having pretty close to the original lineup, I think maybe one or two members are different now, right?
Yeah, we have two new ones. Yeah.
Right. So, but keeping the passion and working on this project together for such a long time, I guess it's really got to be gratifying to see people that still follow you after all this time and still listening to the music and everything. It's that they've stuck with you for the long haul, a lot of them, I guess, huh?
Yeah, it was actually surprising because I think that I don't know about your area, but up here in the Toronto area in Canada, it was when grunge, moved in, it was kind of uncool to be a rock band from the late 80s. And it was
You know what?
just the way it was.
Oh yeah, down here too.
So so and we were cool with it. I mean, we there's a lot more to our band than that, and we just started exploring different music, and as you get older, your taste change and everything changes, and you
Sure.
like to experiment with different stuff. So we got to a point where we just said, screw it, we're just going to write for ourselves.
Hmm.
And when we got together, back together, we did a demo called Three.
No.
And when people found out that Sven Gali's kind of reunited to a certain extent, we started getting a lot of interest in the band, and asking to tour to different areas again and come back here, come back, to Eastern Canada, Western Canada. And then one thing led to another, and I was kind of, it was really nice that after all that time, people wanted to see the band again live.
Hmm.
We do take pride in our live show, but what's great about it now is all the fans that are our age are there, and they have their sons and daughters there to say, this is the band that we used to go see
Yep.
in this bar. And so
Hmm.
we've it's transitioned a little bit. We have a lot of younger people that are digging rock, and I get questions all the time. Do you remember this band, or do you know this band? I'm going, yeah, of course we know this band, And it's nice to see, and music's great for that, because songs will stick with you for your life,
Hmm.
your whole life, and it takes you back to a time when we were doing something, or a special moment, and I remember, when the first time I heard different songs, where I was, and I like sharing those stories with the people on the road.
Hmm. Yeah, and that's something that a lot of people talk about too, is that, and I have a lot of veteran bands on here from this area and parts beyond, that are saying the same thing as you, that they are, they're fans that have been around back years ago are coming out again, and they're there with their grown children,
Yeah.
and they're all having a good time. And
Yeah.
and there's one thing that I really believe to be true. I saw 38 Special a few years ago,
Yeah.
and at the end of the concert, um, Don Barnes, who's really the only one left, the original one left, said, thank you for allowing us to be parts of your lives for the past 40, almost, I guess, 50 years now for them. And that's something that's really true. I mean, people may not realize it that are putting out songs or whatever, but a song does become part of your life. You're driving, you listen to a song, your brain always goes back to a specific time that
Yeah.
song was playing, whether it be you were on a date or something good happened, or you were going somewhere that you liked, and that imagery always comes into your head. And then I'm sure there are people that like your music too and have
Yeah,
been around.
we go through that often now, and it's humbling, actually, and you think, like, for us, we don't think about it that way. We
Hmm.
just do our thing. But we played with Bush at a festival last summer, I think, or yeah, I think it was last summer.
Yeah.
And it was so cool to see people still in the crowd, and you get the younger ones and the older ones, and then
Hmm.
in the front row, there's my kids.
Right, right,
And
right.
it's like it's so much more relaxing and fulfilling
Hmm.
now, and we're having a great time, and I think we have a lot to offer music right now. We have so many ideas, and we're just trying to get them all out, and we want to just share as much music as we can with everybody right now.
Right, right, right. Well, and that's the thing too, is that and again, it never ends too when you're an artist or a musician or anything. You're working on something here. You're always nervous when you're putting it out for the first time. Is this going to fly, or is this going to flop?
Yeah.
And but yeah, I mean, that's, and you had mentioned too that you just mentioned kids. Are your kids doing this too, or did they find other interests?
No, my kids love music. My whole household, my wife, everybody loves music, and
Hmm.
music's on 24/7 at my place. And one minute I could be listening to Anthrax with my son, or then I'm listening to Lady Gaga with my daughter, and then then I introduce them to Elvis. I introduce them to like Rat. And it's funny because they introduced me to a bunch of stuff that I haven't heard, and then I take them back and I said, you know where that came from? It came from this band right back here.
Yep.
And
Yep.
so we have my kids didn't explore the music industry. My daughter is a nurse,
Hmm.
and my son is actually in the States. He's at a soccer scholarship in the United States. So
Oh, congrats.
yeah,
Well, that's great. Hey, nothing wrong with that.
yeah.
Uh,
So, but I always say to him as a dad, I say, hey, get a B plan, go get our
hmm.
university education, and then if
Hmm.
you want to go be in a rock band for a while, then go ahead.
Oh, yeah. You never know. I'll tell you, I can't tell you all too well how much in handy that come or how that it really does
Oh,
come in handy.
oh yeah, for sure.
That's the greatest advice, the greatest show business advice ever, especially in my case. Don't quit your day job, because very few of us really can,
Yes.
and a lot of it has to do with, especially in this day and age. How does
Yeah.
your song get a million plays and you get like 8 cents for it? What's going on with that?
Yeah, you know what? Like for a lot of us, if you're not doing music for the passion of it or because you love it,
Hmm.
then there's no reason to do it. You got to do it
Yeah.
because it's you love it. Like I've never ever cared about the financial side of it. I just want
Hmm.
to be happy with what I did, and if it was going to come, it'd come.
Right.
That's the way I kind of felt about it.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I know what you mean by that. I definitely know what you mean by that. You got to have the passion for it first, because if you're doing it just to make money, you're gonna drive yourself crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
In a very short time. In a very short time. So go back, in your band's history. You had mentioned when we were talking before the interview that you had relocated. You had been living in, or you had been out in Los Angeles, maybe not living, but you had been playing out there years ago,
Yeah,
huh?
we were there. We spent about 6 to 8 months out there trying to get signed.
Right,
And
right.
we played everywhere that what would take us, and we really lived that rock and roll life. We slept anywhere, we ate anything, and we just got up and rocked.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's funny, we had to leave Canada to go down to LA to get signed in Canada. So we so we ended up getting on a plane and flying back to Toronto,
Mm-hmm.
signing in Toronto, and then floating around there. But our second record took us back to Seattle.
Oh, okay,
So
okay,
we
sure,
we
sure.
recorded with Kelly Gray there and he's
Mm-hmm.
I think he was well he did Candlebox's record, the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And we recorded at London Bridge Studios,
Oh, right, right, right,
which was
right.
which was great. That was a great experience there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and then we floated. We are always willing to float around anywhere.
Do you have any other cities in the United States that you particularly enjoyed playing, or that you did quite a bit too?
Um, well, we used to play the Cat Club in New York
Oh, sure, yeah, yeah. New York
back in the
City, huh?
day. Yeah, back in the day, we played the Cat Club, which was always a great time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and where else we played? We had a great show in Columbus, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
I remember in Columbus, Ohio, we had a great show that night. But we didn't venture. We didn't get the opportunity to venture too much into the States. We were planning on doing it with the second record,
Mm-hmm.
but then things changed for us, so that really didn't happen. But we're looking forward to people hearing our music now,
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully get down there.
Well, good, good, good. It's something that I've noticed too, and I don't know if you'll agree with this or not, but sometimes depending on where you are, you're playing in different cities, people like different songs and they like different parts of your set, and then they vary. Do you,
Yeah.
do you agree?
Yeah, I found that actually in England we did oh God, it was crazy. We did I think it ended up being like 27, 28 shows in 35 days.
Oh, wow.
All from England, Ireland, Scotland, France,
Uh-huh.
Belgium, Germany. We were just giving her every night. And it was funny the dynamic of the sets that some people react differently to some songs
Mm-hmm.
in different areas. In Germany, they really like the heavy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it was nice to see over there people singing the lyrics and stuff like that.
That really, and again, that's really got to be very satisfying. Again, talking as we had mentioned earlier about, you write something, you create something. How is it going to go over? But then you see somebody on the complete opposite of the globe that loves what you did.
Yeah.
Isn't
It's
that
easier now though, huh?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right? Like
Well,
it's just so easy now. You just do anything and everybody in the world knows what you're doing. You just got to throw it up on something called YouTube and you
yeah,
know,
right, right. And get into an algorithm somehow. That's something I still haven't quite figured out yet here. But yeah, I know what you mean by that. Yeah, you can get it out there, and if you happen to get the right people seeing it, it kind of spreads like wildfire, or
yeah. Yeah.
it fizzles out like a wet match,
Yeah. Got it.
one of the two, one of the two, So now what were some of the things, some of the bands, some of the albums and things like that that inspired you? What was there? Do you happen to recall a moment when you were a youngster? Maybe you had an album on, maybe you were watching MTV, something clicked in your head and said, "Aha, I have to do this."
Yeah, so um I got to say that I think that the moment it happened for me, really, where I'm going, this is really cool. Like I always loved music. I was always a fan of music. I remember back in the day, back then, when we were really young, we all had long hair, jean shorts, fishing rods, and listen to the Eagles.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
so we go through that whole thing, and then as music changed and we got a little older, this
Hmm.
band called Rat.
Oh yeah, sure, Rat, of
And then I
course.
went, wow, it was so cool. But
Hmm.
then, what really took me over the top was Queensryche.
Oh yeah, Queen. Oh yeah, I tell you, that's they were quite a great band, a great band.
Yeah, yeah. Jeff is a great singer, and I really like that band a lot.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's that well, hey, that what a great singer to like, never any question about him. He was always somebody that was always very well respected, I think, so
Yeah.
yeah. And how about were there any, you had mentioned, Queensryche, their Seattle band. Any were you into any of the European, what was that, the new wave of British heavy metal era? Anybody from that?
Um, you know what? I wasn't I'm not so much there. I remember like being a huge Van Halen fan also,
Mm-hmm.
but in Europe, we toured with Wolfsbane, who the singer of Wolfsbane was the singer of Iron Maiden for a while.
Oh yeah, yeah, Blaze Bailey, right?
Blaze, yeah. So we
Yeah.
toured with him. He's a character. I mean, I'll never forget that guy. He the first time I met him, he told me to refer to him as the
Mm-hmm.
Dark Lord. I was dying, so I went along with it for the whole tour.
Yep. I'm not
But
shocked by that, by the way, too.
he's he was great. But
Hmm.
I don't know. I mean, Iron Maiden back when we were young, Judas Priest, obviously, bands like that. But now, I mean, now there's Ramstein and
Hmm.
like that new industrial rock is really heavy.
It is. It is. And and Europe is a place too where metal and hard rock never really died or never really went
No.
away because I don't know if you see it in Canada, but we get the Saxons, we get the
Yeah.
Saxons one that I can really think of. They'll come over
Yeah.
here and they'll do a good sized hall or a club, but they're still doing stadiums in Europe. You
Yeah.
know,
It's
isn't
a
that?
totally different world over there. They love their rock.
Hmm.
You know it, but and they appreciate it, and they have like 3 day festivals all over the place. You
They
can go there and
do.
just do festivals constantly over
Hmm.
there, but which is great. It's good. It's really good. We played live on MTV Europe
Hmm.
at a festival, and I was just surprised. Like those people, they dig in, and they're there for days camping
Hmm.
to rock. But
Oh
you know
yeah.
what? Isn't it a great life? They you work to live or live to work, right? They like to
Uh-huh.
just have a good time.
Right. Absolutely. They sure do. They sure do. And but that's just the way it is. That's just something that's amazing over there because I'm getting being in radio, or internet radio, I'm getting albums all the time from overseas. And and the thing is that's encouraging. It's not the same old 50-year-old guys that are still in the same bands they were in. I'm looking at these albums, and some of these people, are playing stuff that was really influenced by, our day, the 80s, 70s and 80s hard rock and metal. And these guys are in their 20s and they're digging it, and it's inspiring them to do what they do, which I find very encouraging and pleasing.
Yes, everything is coming full circle now. You can
Mhm.
just, I know, but you know what? You guys like have that Hair Nation, Sirius Radio, Hair
Mhm.
Nation.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's still plugging stuff. Guys like yourself,
Mhm.
and it's you guys that spread the word, and we're really appreciative of guys like you guys doing this stuff,
No.
keeping it out there for everybody. So
Mhm.
so thank you. It's awesome.
Happy to do so. We're happy to do so. And the thing is that people aren't going to know about things unless you tell them.
That's
So that's
right.
what my job is nowadays, to tell you what's going on here, to listen to me and to listen to great bands like Sven Gali and to check them out, to give them a shot, because that's the thing too. I mean, how many times at the record store, remember the record store, when we were growing up,
Yeah.
you go out there and you're like, yeah, who are these guys? I don't know who that is. I don't know who that. Well, you know what? Let me tell you, I listen to this stuff. I'll make recommendations for you, and you listen to my show.
Yeah.
That's what we do here. And again, anybody out there putting out stuff that's good, I'm glad to help them promote it. That's what we do here at 97underground.com. You were another thing I wanted to ask you too, and this is kind of just a question for fun here. You have your victories, you have your great shows, you have your albums that are out, you have your great following and everything. However, I do know for a fact that every band has their Spinal Tap moments. The movie Spinal Tap did not come out of the blue. It's not, well, I guess it was sort of fiction, but it's not far-fetched. Maybe
Yeah.
a little
It's not
exaggerated.
far-fetched.
But any moments, any stories like that you'd like to share for us?
My Spinal Tap moment, if so we got signed, and we were just starting to do some bigger shows, and we were opening up for a band in Sudbury, Ontario, at the arena there, a
Mm-hmm.
band that I admired when I was younger, and I had their album, and the band was called Foreigner.
Oh,
And
right.
so we're opening up for Foreigner, and I remember them giving us absolutely no time for our sound check, which that's not expected as an opener. You just throw your stuff up and get
Mm-hmm.
at it, right? But I remember my Spinal Tap moment was I felt so rushed, just trying to get things together, and we get up out on stage, and I hear one guitar, then the bass kept cutting out, and I'm just like looking around, and then I went to sing the song, and I totally forgot the lyrics.
Oh my
Of
God.
I just it was, and I just couldn't believe it, and I'm thinking, okay, you gotta settle yourselves, but when we did come off stage that night and we pulled it back together, it did come around.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember sitting backstage and the exact words came out.
Mm-hmm.
That's Spinal Tap moment we had tonight. Yeah,
Oh
forgetting the
man.
lyrics to your own song that's charting, and then you
Mm-hmm.
know it's just one of those days.
Hmm. Was this a one and done with Foreigner, or were you
Yeah,
doing multiple
that was a
dates?
one and done with them, and then from that tour, we did our own tour across the country, and then we came back with Def Leppard all the way across back across Canada.
Oh, that's great. That's
Yeah, it was
great.
Def Leppard, Ugly Kid Joe, Meatloaf, Tom Cochrane. It was a Canada Day festival across the country. Ugly Kid
Oh,
Joe was there. Yeah, we had a good time with him. He
mm,
the very first show with on that tour, he came onto our bus early in the morning and started throwing stink bombs down the middle of the aisle of the bus.
oh, great.
And I said, "Okay, here we go. We're gonna have some fun
Hmm.
back across the country with him." So it was
Right,
good.
right. What are some of the places in Canada, the cities and clubs and or rooms that you're most popular in up there?
Well, there's the whole bar scene, and like a lot of the rooms now, it's changed so much, and
Hmm.
it's a tough go for the club owners today.
Uh-huh.
But there's in Vancouver there was a great room called Commodore Ballroom,
Hmm.
and everybody knows in that place that the floor just pulses. It's a wooden floor,
Hmm.
and during the show the floor pulses, and it's sounds great in there, and it's one of a tour favorite to stop and play in there.
Hmm.
And then when you get into Toronto, there was a club back in the day called Rock and Roll Heaven,
Uh-huh.
and everybody played in there. We after the Guns N' Roses show in Toronto, Duff came back to our show at Rock and Roll Heaven and jumped up on stage with us and played "Welcome to the Jungle."
Oh, wow.
And it was that place. You couldn't get another soul in there, and
Mhm.
it was so over capacity. I kept on looking for an exit as I'm singing. Okay, where am I going to go? It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
packed in there that night.
I know about that. We had a club in Baltimore where I'm from called Hammerjacks. And Hammerjacks was the biggest nightclub on the East Coast. But there, and I'm going to reckon and say that you've probably seen it, in some of the rooms like you just mentioned, that the fire code
Yeah.
is more or less like a suggestion as compared to actually followed, because usually that's the capacity. I don't know how they have it in your country, but
Yeah,
with
they
the
do. Yeah.
capacity number, no more than this amount of people in there, would easily double, if not two and a half.
Oh,
You know?
100%. I know, you know what? And we were young and we did not care. We just wanted to put on a show, and we came in with fire,
Mhm.
concussion bombs. We came in with everything when we played back then. And
Oh yeah.
I remember being on stage and one of the concussion bombs went off and it's in this metal tube and the whole
Oh.
thing exploded and I got shrapnel in my back.
Oh God.
Oh, I remember that, but I didn't care. I was bleeding down my back, and I'm just playing. I got about another 45 minutes left to play,
Mm.
and I came off stage and I pulled a little piece of metal out of my back, and then grabbed a beer.
Oh man, there you go. There you go. Just put a little Molson on it there, and that'll disinfect it, I guess, and you'll be good to go for another set.
There we go.
And if worse comes to worse, you always have another kidney, right?
That's it. Yeah,
That's why they give you two.
just need one. Just need one.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So, in the time that we have left, what I'd like you to kind of tell us about here is, where we can find out more about the band. I know you had mentioned, your website a little bit earlier. You told me it was svengali.ca, but tell us about, we'll take a look here at your website. It's a nice website, very well done. Um, you've got your merch on here, and
Yeah. Merch, the records. I don't know if there's any dates on there, but Dan, our drummer, takes care of our social media.
mhm.
So on Facebook, Sven Gali Music Canada is our
Okay.
Facebook. Sorry, we're just at band practice, so we're chilling for a minute. So he's laying on a couch behind me.
Oh, okay. I
Uh,
thought I saw somebody come in back there.
yeah, he's chilling. He's chilling back there.
It was either that
And
or a ghost, and I didn't want to say anything. So,
yeah, so was it Sven Gali Music Canada is our Facebook?
It's on our website.
Oh, it's on the website. All
Oh,
our
okay.
socials on the website there.
oh, okay. Great, great, great. And I see, you've got a great couple photo albums on here. I see, some band pictures. I see all of your socials are listed here. Um, your electronic press kit is there as well for any prospective people. I think, any club owners listening to this, I like these guys. They got my two thumbs up, so definitely book them.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep. And videos and photos, your merch is all on here. And you also have, again, your Facebook, and it looks like got a couple other ones here. Your
Instagram.
there yeah, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and Apple Music and Spotify, or you can find you all in those places here. So
Cool.
most excellent, most excellent. Well, thank you for joining us today. I really appreciate you coming. And any chance you'll be coming down this way?
I'm not sure right now. Obviously, there's no plans at the moment, but never say never. Like, in the fall, we're looking to get back out there. We're going to focus on Canada right now.
Mm-hmm.
But 100%, if I know we're coming that way, I will get in touch with you and we'll get together if you got time.
Okay, great. That most definitely, we'd love to see you down here. I'm sure that the fans down here in Maryland would definitely love you. Would definitely
Cool.
love you, because we're enjoying your stuff as we speak right now. So Folks, you heard it right here, svengali.ca. And thanks again to David Wanless for joining us, and yet to be named band member in the background, Faceless.
That's Dan.
Oh, okay.
Dan Fila.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome. And we'll see you all next time, folks. You've been listening to The Back of the Rack, the Michael Spedden Show on 97underground.com, Baltimore's Pure Rock Worldwide. And we'll be back right after these words. Don't go anywhere. And thanks again for listening to 97 Underground, the Michael Spedden interviews, and we hope you enjoyed today's show. Remember, download the free app from 97underground.com so you can listen to us wherever you go. The Back of the Rack, the Michael Spedden Show, can be heard on 97underground.com every Tuesday from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Listen anytime, anywhere.
Metal.
Worldwide metal, 24/7. 97 Underground.